Good morning. Welcome back to another beautiful sunny day in eastern North Carolina, and I'm taking shade behind the garage here at the potting bench because yesterday I got something that I was supposed to get back in the spring. Last winter I did a lot of plant shopping, as you may or may have known. Hopefully you've been following along. If you're new to the channel, welcome. So I did a lot of plant shopping because I knew I was going to be building this massive garden, and one of the companies that I purchased from was Brex. If you don't know who Brex is, I'll try to remember leave a link below, but they sell all sorts of plants, that kind of thing. You know, it's one of those internet-based things. I don't even know if they have like a shop. I think they're just strictly internet. Either way, I'm getting completely off topic. I ordered a hellebore collection. But when I ordered the hellebore, and I ordered the hellebore collection, I believe in December or January, I got a notification, I think it was in April or May, saying, hey, listen, we're completely out of stock. We're so sorry. You got two choices. We can give you a refund for your purchase, or you can wait until the fall, and then we'll ship, your order right away. So I opted to do the fall shipping, and lo and behold, I have received many plants. So today, just going to plant these up real quick, and I will tell you what I have received, and as I unpack them here. They all look pretty good so far. If you've ever ordered plants on the internet, they sometimes come in either two ways: well shipped or badly shipped. That's at least been my experience. And Brex does a pretty good job at shipping the plants here. As you can see, it's in a cellophane here, and that's just to keep the dirt from being everywhere. And there's a little cellophane on the what's the word I'm looking for? The pot, again, to keep the dirt from going everywhere. So, and again, a box around to keep the plant itself from being crushed. So far, these all look absolutely lovely. These are wonderful. There's a name for hellebores, a common name. I think they're called Lenten rose. I think they're also called Lenten rose. They typically are like the first plants that flower, or one of the first plants that flower, usually the very late winter, super early spring. So right at that crux where you could still get in some freezing temperatures. They're a fairly hardy plant, and they grow well in shade or partial sun. The couple that I have so far are in large pots, terracotta pots, and I had them up on the deck. They were probably getting about 6 to 7 hours of sunlight a day early on, but then as the temperature started warming up and the sun started getting a little more intense, I just moved them down. Because they're in pots, I was able to move them down into a different location, basically at the almost underneath the deck, right as I'm going into my garage. And there they get maybe 2 to 3 hours of sun a day, if that, and the rest of the time they're in shade. And they're doing well. And again, as the seasons change and the winter comes, I'll be pulling those back up and I'll put them back on the deck. And this way, once they start flowering, probably in February, March, I think they'll start flowering here in growing zone 8A. When I lived in New York, I think it was more like March, April. So, but again, different growing zones, they'll flower at different times. And quite lovely. Let me just start chopping these open, and I'll get planting them. Okay, so as to not bore you guys, I'm just gonna plant up one real quick, and then I will tell you what varieties I got. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reuse these nursery pots, and if you can tell, they have these giant holes, so the dirt that I put in there will come pouring out. And I'm just going to take a little piece of paper towel here, and I'm just simply going to put that on the bottom. So what that'll allow do is it'll keep the dirt from falling out, and it will turn around and allow water to flow out. So here's the hellebore. It's small, as you can tell, which is fine. This version is one is called Winter Plum, and you can tell it's got all this plastic wrapping again to try to keep a lot of the dirt in and on. So I'm simply going to take my knife here and try not to cut myself. Unfortunately, they use a thick, heavy plastic here. Yeah. Right, and we're going to add some more soil to this. Beautiful. Pop this out. There we go. And voila. Easy peasy. I'll get rid of this other tag so I don't get confused. And then what I will do is I'll put a plant label on this because otherwise I will forget what it is. Now this pot that I'm putting in right now is not going to be the permanent pot that I'll keep it in. I just ran out of nice terracotta pots to put these in. So I'm going to put this in this pot for now. I will be getting some bigger pots eventually, and then I'll put them in the bigger pots. I could put it in something like this, but this is too small, I feel, and it would quickly fill out that space. So again, I'll get some bigger pots, maybe 10 to 14 inch size pots, and I'll put that in there at that point. But I didn't want to keep it in its little container for too long, nor keep it in the plastic. There you go. I'll pot up the rest, and then I'll talk about the varieties I got. Okay, so I'm all done planting up my hellebores now, and I said I was going to go over the varieties real quick. Since none of these are flowering and you really can't see, I mean, thick green leaves, that's pretty much it. Hold on. Somewhere up there is a U.S. Marine Corps Harrier flying around, making a little bit of noise. Apologize for that. Anywho, since they don't have any flowers, just thick green leaves, what I decided to, what I'll do is I'll post a picture right here, and you can see what I got. First off the bat, I got 2 Winter Plum hellebores. Then I got a Fresco hellebore, Pink Frost hellebore, Searchlight, and then last but not least, Great White. So that's the hellebores I got, and that's the good. Now let's go look at the bad. Now, I've never grown pumpkin before, and I stated that many a times to me growing pumpkin this year. So I planted the pumpkin out, 2 types, Howden and Jack B. Little. Now the Howden never seemed to produce a pumpkin. I got flowers but never a pumpkin, which is odd. I'm not sure what that's all about. The Jack B. Little did produce, and now the vines are dying back. So I don't know when the right time to harvest pumpkin is, and in my head, when I was a kid and I went to pumpkin fields in New York, the vines were usually all dying back, and then there were all these big beautiful pumpkins for you to pick. Well, they're not so big and beautiful anymore. Or actually, let me show you what I mean. I have quite a few of these pumpkins which have sort of over-ripened and exploded on the vine, split open, cracked open, etc. So that's no good, and I've got a lot of them. Well, let's see how many I can find that are actually good. Bad pumpkin, horrible pumpkin, another bad pumpkin. This pumpkin looks like some sort of bug or critter got into it. Oh, you can see that. But otherwise looks like a good pumpkin is all split open on the bottom. A rotted pumpkin, another split pumpkin. And I guess this happens when the pumpkin's on the vine too long and it gets too much moisture. It just splits open. It is about midday now and it's getting quite hot. So I've had 8 bad pumpkins. That's not a good thing. That's 8 pumpkins extra that I could have had. So let's see what I have in the good pumpkins. So I have 6 little Jack B. Little good pumpkins. I'm not sure if I planted too soon or too early, or if I should have been harvesting all along, leading up to, we're at the end of September now. We'll be getting into October next week, or this week. I don't have no idea. Oh, anyways, so I have no idea if I should have been harvesting all along. Again, this is all new to me. If you have any tips or suggestions about growing pumpkins, please leave them below. Let me know if you've grown pumpkins also, and where you've grown them, what growing zone perhaps. Oh, let's go look at the ugly. Here we are in the, we're still in the vegetable garden. Now we're at the sunflowers. And if you recall, about 2-3 months ago, I think it was about 3 months ago, I planted these sunflowers. They grew, the mammoth were spectacular. And then the Del Sols were pretty nice too. The Del Sols, fortunately or unfortunately, have gone to seed quicker than the mammoths. Either way, their time is done. So I'm now going to start cleaning these up, and I'll probably turn around the next couple of weeks, put some compost into these beds, and then maybe top them with cardboard, let them rest for the winter. What I may wind up doing too, or probably wind up doing, is some of these are definitely, have gone to seed. So what I'll probably wind up doing is just sitting these out for the birds to peck at and eat. You know, maybe I'll hang them on the fence. Well, I was going to take down the mammoth sunflowers, but after closer examination, the seeds aren't quite ready yet. And I may want to try and harvest the seeds for myself for my own eating. I don't know. But I know the seeds aren't quite ready. So I'm going to leave them there doing their thing. There's still a lot of green on the leaves, and I'll let Mother Nature process her own thing. In the meantime, the Del Sol sunflowers are cleaned up. Again, I'll probably add some compost to that, and then maybe a layer of cardboard just to keep the weeds down for the winter time. And then we'll start growing something fresh in that in the springtime. That, I think, is going to wrap it up for today. So you saw the good, the bad, and then of course the ugly. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends, families, loved ones. Please share this video on all your social media. Let the world out there know that there's an idiot in eastern North Carolina here, standing in the sun, cooking his brain, trying to build a garden on 1.5 acres. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give it a follow on Instagram. I often post pictures there that you won't see here on YouTube. That's going to wrap it up for today. Check out the links below, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.